So we get the items from Ashley that she picked up during her little sequence, and look, that little box that the items that are in our inventory is gone again, and it's just a phantom grid over Leon's face. Gotta love the consistency. Like, you always get weird little visual bugs like that during a port of any kind. It's funny to make fun of, but it's not a big deal.
Oh, what a touching moment we have here.
All spoiled thanks to your interruption. Why don't you do us all a favor and leave before the audience gets pissed off?
You're nothing but an extra in my script, so don't get too carried away. Your biggest scene is over.
I don't ever remember being a part of your crappy script.
Well then, why don't you show me what a first-class script is like through your own actions?
Oh my god, these guys, like, both think they're so cool. That's what makes it funny, is they both think they're just the coolest side of the fucking pillow. Hey look, Ashley, look at what happened because of you. This is your fucking fault, you stupid bitch. You went and ran off like a dummy, and got yourself kidnapped in the most retarded way possible, and now Luis is dead. I have no respect for you as a person. Oh, good lord, this part is just the greatest. You remember what I said about the village area being kind of grounded, and you could still take the game somewhat seriously, even though it was a little, you know, it was over the top. But you could still, you know, take it on its own merits. This is really the moment where the fact that this fucking game has turned into an amusement park ride really comes into stark effect. And it's the fucking best. Look at this. No, you think that... Look at what it's leading into. Look at this fucking Mario Planet. Mario Planet. Super Mario... That should be the next one. They skipped Planet. They went from Land to Galaxy. They should have done Planet in between there. Look at this fucking Mario level. Look at this fucking fire stage. The castle. Bowser's Castle in fucking Mario 3. It's so fucking ludicrous. It's literally just a giant fire room of fire for no reason. What was this castle built on top of an active volcano or something? This is so stupid. It's fucking awesome. Like this, you can't even say like, what is this, a smelting room? Like a smelting chamber or something? No, it's just literally lava and fire. Why would you have this room? How did you make these columns? How did the architects... Was this just a regular room and then later they decided to pour a bunch of fucking lava into it? It's so silly, like the logic of this room makes no fucking sense. This is the most video game fucking room in the entire game. It's so ludicrous. You can't help but love it. And remember, this is coming, like this section is coming immediately after when we played as Ashley in a down-to-earth little, like, kind of low-key sequence that's calling back to the classic Resident Evil games, where you're just unarmed and trying to avoid a bunch of enemies with your own wits and solving a puzzle. Like, the main penchant of that section was solving a puzzle. A couple of puzzles. And then you go immediately from that to this shit where you're in a fire stage fighting cultists, shooting fucking, like, fire breath from dragon statues. It's just so, like, like I said, the village section, you could lay the village section over that little Star Wars chart of rising and falling action. Of showing, like, okay, you gotta have a peak of action here, and then let it, you know, lower a little bit to give people time to breathe, and then start rising the action again. And as you go along, like, even the baseline of relaxation is supposed to get higher and higher because it's elevating the, like, the entire story to a crescendo when it reaches the climax. But then you get to this part, and it's just all... You get to the castle, and that chart is just all over the place. It's not following the Star Wars chart at all. It's just rising and falling and rising and falling and falling and rising and rising and falling and rising and rising and falling and rising. And it just... It's a lot less tight in its, you know, progression and design. So again, not to say that it's bad, but it's just a little bit... It's a little silly. So as you saw, we got the, I'm pretty sure the last piece of our puzzle there, yep. Longest fetch quest in Resident Evil history. Oh, and just to top it off, here's a literal roller coaster, a literal amusement park ride, where Ashley and Leon just sat down in seats facing across from each other and not saying a word the entire trip. They just stared awkwardly at each other the entire way from one half of the castle to the other. Like, here's where we are now, and this is how long that fucking amusement park ride went from all the way here, whee, back here. And during that entire ride, that thing wasn't going very fast either. They were just staring into each other's fucking faces, not saying a word. Where was the broken butterfly? If you recall, there was a room... somewhere over here. Right there, before the hedge maze. Okay, how do we get back there? I think the quickest way, yeah, would be to take the roller coaster back. Okay. I knew I was forgetting something. I'll go ahead and cut this part out. Riding back! Just stare longingly into each other's faces like, dude, they're not even making eye contact. Look at their models. Okay, it wasn't as much of a trek as I remember it being. Imagine during this section with fucking Ashley and Stowe. That would have been ridiculous. There we go. That's what I was trying to do by shooting them in the legs. Ashley, get out of the way, honey. Ashley, get out of the way, honey. I don't want to knife you by accident. You will instantly die. Ashley, you worthless cunt. Okay. Hey, so Ashley, try and figure out this puzzle. You gotta shoot the fucking, food items in order. Why don't you just shoot the wine, Leon? Oh, I guess even Ashley is fucking smarter than a lot of fucking YouTube Let's Players out there who don't realize that you just have to shoot the fucking wine. You don't have to bother even touching any of the other things on the fucking dinner plate. It's the only thing that your fucking laser pointer lights up on when you point the gun at it, guys. You see how it's just a nothing, and then, oh, I can shoot this because the laser turned into a little red dot. That means you can shoot it. And on that fucking picture, the only thing that lights up in the red dot is the fucking wine, which means it's the only thing you need to shoot. It's not fucking complicated. Okay, yeah. It wasn't as much as I thought just from looking at the map. I was gonna make a joke about, like, oh, patented Resident Evil backtracking, but it's not that much. And it's optional, you don't need to do this. This is just in case you remember, when we came through here solo, with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. He gets high with a little help from his friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Not you, Ashley. Not even your own mother could love you. So here's what we came here for. The Magnum. The Broken Butterfly. Do we get one more case upgrade? Because I remember there being more room to fit this in. Oh no, it's the shotgun. The shotgun's taking up space. And you get a better shotgun later, so that's what I remember. Having room for all 4 of these. We also got plenty of other treasure in here. I wonder where that came from, the idea of having the merchant and being able to buy items and whatnot, therefore instituting a need for currency, because that, like, nothing in any of the previous Resident Evil games even came close to that system of, you know, buying new items and whatnot. Like, a lot of things this game does, you can sort of see how it was a natural, like, this game's a big, what's the word, departure from the rest of the series, but with a lot of things it does, you can sort of see the natural, okay, thematically, in terms of gameplay, it makes sense how they went from that to this. But the whole, you know, making money and collecting treasure and just finding loot, that's just you know, that's just a really generic video game thing. Not in a bad way, but I wonder, can Leon go through this area? I've never tried that. No, okay. There's no need to go back. That's a great one. I'm a big fan of don't go through that door messages, and especially in survival horror games. My favorites are always from Silent Hill, which has differences, but you have to have a difference between doors that are just painted on part of the scenery and aren't real doors, and doors that you can open if you have an item or something. And Silent Hill, being, you know, set in, like, a town, needs to have that difference, otherwise you're gonna think, how do I get into apartment 5B out of all the 500 apartments in this fucking building? So there we go, longest fucking, fetch quest in the game. Not that there are many, like, I can't think of another fetch quest in Resident Evil that takes that long. I mean, how long is that? Was like 3 videos. That takes a while to get through. Oh, another amusement park ride. Here we go. And look at all this nice scenery. There's the castle we're in now. There's a castle over there. There's 2 more castles. Those might be considered one castle with, like, a bridge between them. They're pretty close. That's just fucking Dracula's castle right there. Look. Look at this. Look at this fucking Castlevania castle. There's fucking Simon Belmont fighting his way to, like, fucking, Dracula's little... Look, that's the fucking bridge you take at the beginning of Symphony of the Night into the final boss chamber. That's just the Castlevania castle. Where the fuck are we in Spain that there's just 4 castles within eyesight of each other, within walking distance of a tiny little fucking, rural village? And you're going to see it's even more ludicrous when we get to Chapter 3. Like this impossible video game landscape. I do always love these rooms. I don't know if a lot of people remember them. Again, this is the part, like, everything from the beginning of Chapter 2, not, the game, like, breaks them up into chapters. I think of the village as Chapter 1, the castle as Chapter 2, and then the last area as Chapter 3.
Wait.
Oh, fuck, almost fucked that up, because I keep forgetting the fucking triggers. Whew, close one.
Follow me.
Like, I always forget about the rooms, but when I actually come across the rooms, I'm like, oh yeah, this one. I really like this room. You know? How, when you're actually trying to think of the game, you're like, ooh, I can't quite remember. But then when it's, like, actually presented to you, that's when you're like, oh yeah, this part was great. But I guess that begs the question of, is it really that good if you can't even remember it? Like, just off the top of your head. Because everyone remembers the fucking cabin attack sequence. Everyone remembers the initial, like, Shadow over Innsmouth fucking village assault. But again, I don't think a lot of people can remember in their heads these sequences in the castle. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, fellas. That's something to note about this game, is all of the enemies are melee weapon users, and you have a gun. You do have a knife that you can use, although that's more of a situational thing. Squeeze me. Good lord. Fuck off. Oh, goddamn. Fuck off. Fucking out of my face, please. Why are they so fast? There we go. That's what I tried to do. Because I want to take out all three of these guys at once with one fucking flash grenade. There we go. It's a lot easier to deal with, right? See if we can get these guys in a little bit faster time, because I don't know when their hitboxes became active there. There we go. Excuse me. Excuse me, everyone. I should try a shotgun. I did get ammo for it just now. Oh, God Lord. God Lord! How are these guys so fast? Nope. Nope. Oof. You see... Oh my gosh, why would he do this? Why would you do this? This is unwarranted. It just... There was no adequate reason for it to be this way. I like how I can just chuck Ashley the shit through the bars there. Oh, it actually does stun them. Come on! Shit! Why aren't they getting the fucking helmets knocked off? Jesus. There we go. Christ almighty. Used up more resources there than I really should have, but hey. Less than I could have. Imagine how fucking annoying that would have been to do with Ashley still following you, right?
Wait.
Oh, I think there's...
Follow me.
That might have been one more. Oh, she's coming. I was like in Silent Hill, where it's like... Shit's locked. I like how the fucking Ganados still have enough sense of mind to put pictures on dartboards, and enough motor skills to play darts. Now that the quote-unquote sample where the message that Silent Hill would always do to tell you shit's locked was something like, the lock is broken, like nothing you do will ever be able to open it. Don't worry about it. Go to the other doors. This door doesn't fucking matter. Shut up. And I think Resident Evil really only had to start worrying about that in the second game when you actually start running around Raccoon City. But even then, most of Resident Evil 2 was spent in, like, the, police station. God damn it. You didn't really run around the town, and that was one of the selling points of Resident Evil 2 was, oh, you're actually in Raccoon City this side. It was more Resident Evil 3 that finally captured the, you're actually in a fucking city overrun by zombies. And I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 3 had the, shit's locked prompt when you went up to, like, just random doors along the street, right? So this is, I always love puzzles like this.
Follow me.
Ashley, you dumb bitch. These are some of my favorite puzzles. Where you gotta move the shit on the shit. But this one has a twist to it because there's 4. And you're like, oh, what do I do? There's only 2 statues. Oh, there's the 2 statues and then you plus Ashley. That's the trick. I always love stuff like that. Look at, he's just chilling in this room.
Enough. Let's see if you can survive this time.
No! Did he even bother to close this door? Oh, what a stupid asshole. What was his plan? Like, he was just standing in this room, jerking off, and just waiting. There's nothing in this room. He was just standing here, completely randomly. He doesn't know where we are in the castle. He's not tracking us. All of our fucking encounters with him have been completely by accident. He was just standing in this room, which, for some reason, he set up to have a fucking descending ceiling. Also, I gotta love descending ceilings that have spikes in them. You already have a descending ceiling. It's already gonna crush us flat. What point do the spikes serve? I don't even get that. And then he literally runs off like, hee hee hee, through this fucking door. It's so fucking goofy, this fucking game. It's so great. But then, wait! He had a plan B in case we made it through. Oh no, Ashley, you stupid, stupid hussy. You guys really have to make up your minds. Do you want Ashley dead or not? Because if you want to keep her alive and hold her ransom and then send her back to her dad, infected with the parasite as she is, I don't think this is very conducive to that plan. I don't think you guys have thought this through. And the fucking trapping us in the room with the descending ceiling thing also doesn't make sense. Because, okay, they want to kill Leon, but keeping Ashley alive should still be the fucking priority. Right, like, just... and again, I like to chalk this up to, it's not that the writing is bad, or, like, thoughtless, it's that these villains are really just that stupid. Like, the stupidity of their plans is in-universe. Like, the writers are going, and then they'll fucking try and kill Ashley and Leon. And another writer went, but don't they want to keep Ashley alive? And then the first writer's like, yeah, but they're really fucking dumb. And then they just laughed, because it's so fucking goofy. It occurred to me that I didn't really explain what this puzzle is before we just started running off to collect all the parts we need. Whatever, it's not important. It's Resident Evil. At this point, you should just assume that there's locked fucking doors. Oh, I want to get multiple ones at once. This might have been a mistake. Woo! He loose one. You guys crack me up. You're just the cutest. Did you see Ashley do the little fist bump when I fucking knifed his ass and knocked him back 10 feet? I feel like this whole experience must be at least a little bit traumatizing. But anyway, like, I love those messages that are like, the lock is broken. Fuck off. This isn't a door you need to care about. Get out of my face. But then those messages where it's like, there's no reason to go back here. Those always make me go, fuck you. Fuck you. You're full of shit. Get out of my face. There's no reason to go back. Or the worst one. The absolute worst one I can think of is from Resident Evil 0. Because in Resident... Oh my god! What perfect comedic timing. Oh, come on. I can get you. I can get you with my knife, can't I? There we go. That makes up for it. That was great. I knifed, I didn't see, I turned, Snake was right there, I stopped talking, and then boom, it fucking bites me. That was great. You can't script shit like that. That's how you know all my Let's Plays are unscripted, baby. All live commentary. The worst one was in Resident Evil 0, because in Resident Evil 0, you take a magic elevator back to the lab in Resident Evil 2. You go back to the same lab from Resident Evil 2, and it's blatantly said, like, this is the same lab. Like, it's, like, the level design is identical, for one thing, but it's even said, like, this is William Birkin's fucking lab. And you go back there, and you go through one of the doors, and you try and click on one of the doors that leads to the actual lab proper, and it says, I've already explored this area. As in, back in Resident Evil 2. You already explored this area when you played Resident Evil 2. So fuck off. We're not gonna remake all of those fucking assets in Resident Evil 0. Fuck you, get out. You explore like a handful of rooms. Like 4 or 5 rooms. And the rest, when you try and go through, it's like, fucking get out. We're not remodeling all those fucking rooms. You've already explored this area. And I remind you that you do not play as any character that you played in Resident Evil 2 in Resident Evil 4. Can I kill this before the next cutscene? I don't think there's any point in doing so, but I'm pretty sure you can. I have a lot of handgun ammo. Let's just go ahead and give it a shot. You know what, maybe I shouldn't, because it drops treasure. The reason you want to do this is because it drops treasure, and I don't know if the treasure will, like, fade out if you take too long picking it up. So we just got Ashley back this chapter, and she gets fucking kidnapped again.
Ashley!
You are the fucking worst, Ashley.
More of them.
By the insects! Did you know that these insects have cognitive thought processing to realize, oh, I'm going to kidnap this girl and not kill her? Apparently they're capable of that. I wouldn't think that would be the case. I wonder what flash grenades do to these guys. Pretty sure it doesn't kill them, yeah. I like how they're just fucking shrugging off the shotgun. Excuse me, I don't appreciate this. Ow, Jesus Christ, okay. Excuse me. So yeah, just goofy to me that they're like, oh, pick this one up and carry her off instead of killing her. Apparently these things are intelligent. That's just That's quite amusing. Like, they take orders. Hey, if you see the fucking girl, kidnap her, don't kill her. Whereas the actual human cultists, who are people with parasites inside of them, they think, let's get a giant-ass drill and run them both over and kill the girl we're trying to keep as a hostage. There we go. Only took like 2 clips. Just phase through. Yeah. Goofy. Yeah, so I'm not sure if all of this, like, disappears if you take too long. Which is why I'm bothered to wait, because it's not like you can have a chance to pick them up while you're fighting those guys. And they're just they're just little glints on the floor, too. They don't have, like, a blue aura around them. So I gotta make sure I'm not missing any.